Today on Suncoast View, the new Sarasota Library has a new program. You don't check out a book, you check out a person. We'll explain.
This year's flu season is now being called an epidemic. Sarasota Memorial Hospital is here to help us stay safe even when everyone around us is sick.
And Inglewood is getting ready for some unusual sights. We'll preview a new show opening on the Suncoast, and you may not believe your eyes. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show, and welcome back, and Happy New Year to Sheba Mateo. Great to have you with us.
Thank you all for having me. Thank you so
you're
much.
looking so classy.
Thank you. I'm wearing black, as you know.
It's inspiration.
It's okay to have a signature look.
I do. Thank you for that. I do struggle with that sometimes, but thank you.
And solids never go out of style.
Ever.
Yeah.
Well,
Stay in my closet.
we were having the fun conversation that I'm sure many people appreciate with our chilled weather, is that since we don't have chill very often, I don't know about you, but I don't buy winter sweaters or heavy clothes very often. So, you know, we're going to be down into the 30s on Thursday. And I'm like, oh, I'll get out that sweater. And I looked at it and I go, that sweater is 30 years old. I'm like, I really probably should purchase some new sweaters.
Mine are 25 years old. I came here 25 years ago, and those same sweaters are waiting for me to wear.
But they're in great shape, right? Because they never
well,
get
wear them
dirty.
every 5
same
years.
shape, though. Things are not where they used to be.
I miss my New York days of wearing, you know, the coats and the layers, and so I love to layer up. So I'm very happy
5
right
days
now.
up there and you'll be ready to go.
Exactly. It's fun here. It's not as fun
It
there
is.
as
I agree,
what
I
I
agree.
suspect.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, we are going to get ready for the chill, but we are, of course, still keeping on our healthy eating plans as best we can. And a great person for recipe ideas for healthy eating is Chef Mel from Whole Foods Market. Welcome back. We're glad to see you. What are we making today?
I'm making a delicious paleo bowl.
Oh, okay. And so what is in a paleo bowl?
Well, we're featuring like cauliflower rice, like the substitution of your carbs by using riced vegetables or spiralized vegetables, just to give it like a healthier outlook.
All right, we like that.
You know what I like about that is that the thing about specifically that paleo bowl, you're not substituting a bunch of bacon or cheese or anything. It's all still vegetables. So if you are going to try a diet like that, you're not putting yourself at risk.
Yeah.
That's exactly
And it's an
right.
easier way to eat vegetables because, quite honestly, I don't love cauliflower, but when it's riced, no big deal.
I've got a good recipe for you,
Oh,
Mel.
good. I
I've
like
learned
that.
to love cauliflower.
And a little bit of a cheat, and I'm sure Chef Mel would tell me this is a big cheat because I should eat fresh, but they do sell it frozen if you're having a desperate evening
true.
and you're just trying to get something healthy on the table. I have learned that now it's in the frozen food aisle too.
It's saved many a dinner hour in
You know
our
what?
home.
You got to do what you have to do.
That's right.
Speaking of healthy foods, I want to highlight one of my favorite parts of living here on the Suncoast. This is honey bell season. And I know I've shared these before. I make a big deal out of it every year. Honey bells are a variety of orange. They're actually, and I want to get this right, I believe a Mineola tangerine blend. And what that means is it's the sweetest of oranges. Very juicy, very sweet, and very rare in season. They only go about 3 weeks every January. These ship across the country in gorgeous crates and boxes for tons and tons of money. But because we live right here, we can go to local groves where you can find just big old barrels of them and get them.
What's impressive to send some of these up north to friends and say, I just got these out of my yard and I thought you might like some.
Absolutely.
these
Well,
up
honey
yesterday.
bells are in. I've heard that Yoder's has some. I am a big fan of the Citrus Place in Palmetto on US 41. Nice local owned family grove. And once you try a honey bell, you may be hooked too. So we stock them in my home for every January when they're out.
I'm on my way the minute we're off here.
That's really great too if you have people that are visiting, and if it hits one of the days where it's too cold to take them to the beach, you can at least take them to get some Florida citrus.
Going to the
Let's
groves
sit in the
is
lanai,
fun.
and we're going to have some honey
And we'll
bell.
just look at an orange
And
for
we'll
a while.
pretend. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
That wasn't coffee.
Yes, this is why I don't keep coffee in here, because I knock into it occasionally. So check out the oranges. It's a great cure for the colds that are running around right now. It is time for our first hot topic. And we know we typically use libraries to check out books or media, but now you can check out a person. It is a new monthly feature at the North Sarasota Library. You can sign up for a 20-minute slot to talk face-to-face with a community member who has been specifically selected because of their life experiences and perspectives. The library says they're trying to bring together people who might not normally cross paths. This is especially important in a world where face-to-face contact has decreased dramatically due to technology. What do you think?
Wonderful
Sign
idea.
me up.
this show has proved this to us because we're all so very different in our backgrounds. I'm 40 years older than any of you, and yet we have so much in common.
That's right.
And I learned so much from you guys. I really do.
Oh my goodness. And I have to tell you, I mean, this is such a touch point for me at this point in my life because I did not grow up with technology, and I'm a touchy-feely kind of person. So I already feel the shift. So I don't let my daughter use it. We bring friends over on Saturday nights. We still have family game night where other families come over. They bring all the kids run around. No one's allowed to touch technology at all.
Right.
Because I need that connection.
You need human.
Yes, and also there are studies that kind of, lean toward the idea of increased psychological challenges as we grow older because let's face it, people, we're human beings. We need to touch and feel and connect and see those, facial feet, like look at Joey's smile. Like, I get excited when I see those things. So it's important. So amen. I'm right there.
You find out somebody from a different neighborhood is just like you. They have the same values. They love their kids as much, and they have the same goals. So I think it's such a coming together thing.
It's nice too because I think people get afraid that they are going to become irrelevant.
Yes.
And no one's going to want to hear their story anymore. And I've noticed from either ladies I go to the gym with or something that when you start to get into somebody's background they think no one cares about or no one's interested in, you kind of unwrap this beautiful person. So I love this.
I do too. And it reminds me of what we try so hard to do on this show is find people who have these amazing stories that we can share it with everybody, and the library's doing it too.
So should we take the show there one? Just a thought.
Well,
check out all the people.
Take advantage of it because when you go online and look at the list of people that they've invited to come have chats with, it's really impressive. It's really great.
This does kind of make
we should all go.
This makes me laugh because as a kid I always returned my books late, so I had a bunch of overdue fines. So can you imagine like the person is still in my house? And I'm like, I know I'm supposed to take you back.
You get 20 minutes. It's on their property, so they will remove you. Which is probably relieving if you think you're going to have to talk to someone for 3 hours. You only have to do 20 minutes.
It would be great if they're politicians. Then you might find out that they're real people.
It'll be interesting to see who they invite. The first person was a civil rights activist.
Great.
In order to kick off Black History Month. Very
great.
So tennis superstar Serena Williams is sharing something very personal. Her stories about motherhood and her 4-month-old daughter, Olympia. But also that childbirth was no easy feat for this champion athlete. Williams recently told Vogue that her baby was successfully delivered via an emergency C-section. But the next day, Williams had severe medical issues due to multiple blood clots in her lungs. Consequently, she ended up with a long and difficult 6-week recovery. So now Williams is posting on Facebook thanking everyone for coming forward with their own supportive stories. Williams says the CDC reports that Black women are over 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy and child-related causes. Williams says this is now a passion for her and she wants the talk to continue. This story touched me on so many ways. I mean, obviously I can't speak from the Black woman experience, but from the fact that a superstar athlete, there is nobody in better physical shape to have this baby than Serena Williams, and it knocked her on her butt. She struggled with the physical, then she struggled with the depression because she wasn't that strong woman she thought she could be. I think we can all associate to that. That's Joey.
And we always blame ourselves if we really have problems. Well, I should have gotten in better shape. I should have eaten this. You always blame yourself that you don't feel good right afterwards.
As a mother, that's what we do.
And she proves that you can be in the top physical shape and you can still have problems.
Mother Nature's scary.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are all kinds of things, especially for African American women in general. Like my daughter will ask me very simply, "Mommy, I hear other girls talk and I'm talking and my voice is a little deeper." And I say, well, African Americans statistically have a little bit more testosterone. That's why our voices are deeper. So there are some things that lean toward, the difficulty with pregnancies in general. For African American women, stress-related factors related to just being a part of a certain culture as well. The stress
access
hormones,
to medical
that's
care.
Access to medical care for some, but even if you have access to medical care genetically, take for example, Africans from Africa are used to getting pregnant at an earlier rate just because of genetic download. There were years ago. So there are all kinds of factors.
So now that women are having baby at 40, it's not so easy.
It's not. It's absolutely not. And that's a whole nother segment.
That's a whole other
segment.
For so long we said we're just alike. We're all just alike. Now we can say, no, we're not.
No,
we're different.
All diverse
and that makes
in so
us
many wonderful
it
ways.
makes us great people.
Right.
But you need to know your differences.
That's right. But you need to be. That's right. You have to be educated, know the literature, understand the statistics and work from there. Absolutely.
And we do have a lot of celebrities to thank for coming forward with some of their health
honest.
problems. Like Carrie Fisher brought mental health into the spotlight years ago, and now Serena Williams is bringing this issue. It's nice that they're using their celebrity status to help people who might share a problem.
That's right, and it's difficult too, I think, depending on your culture. Like my mother's from Ethiopia, so you do not air your personal
Your business,
So I
right.
always go back and forth. One minute I'm, open, next minute I'm like, oh, why'd you ask me that? Well, Shibi, you just told me yesterday. I know, but now I'm confused.
Well, and they talked about it on Good Morning America with Robin Roberts, who's
Yes.
been very open with her health and family struggles, and just the importance of being open and how it really can help people.
She says, make your mess your message.
Which is a
I
really great
always
statement.
think of that.
So we'll remember that.
I've just got
have
too
to work
many
on that one.
messes.
Yeah, a lot of
I'll have to
messages.
work on that one.
Well, pharmacy giant CVS says what you see is what you get, and they mean it. Starting in April, CVS is committing to a new strict set of no Photoshop guidelines for any of its internal imagery in stores, on its website, and in all marketing materials. External vendors will also have to include disclaimers if anything is touched. CVS says false imagery is unrealistic, harmful, and antiquated. And I look at this picture, who was an absolutely beautiful woman, and thought, why did we feel the need to digitally alter that in the first place?
It's true. When you look at that before picture, she's gorgeous.
Right,
It's hard to find a flaw, and then
Because-
you make her look almost like she's not as human.
But you like her a little better when you see that she is. Now, I would like to be airbrushed right now because I have a bandage on my nose thanks to basal cell carcinoma.
But it's real.
It's real, and it'll be done in
And it's your
3
mess,
more
and
days.
you've made it your
Yes,
message.
and look what we just talked about with Serena Williams, or same thing, Linda.
Yes,
It's maybe
yes.
not the same scale,
Well-
but you are saying, yes, I had an issue, I took care of it, I did the
It will be
responsible
gone
thing.
forever and ever. I just have stitches, and they'll be out
So
by Friday.
I
I
hate
do have some
Instagram
issues.
filters.
I was going to say.
Yeah, no, and Joey and I have talked about this, and watching a teenage daughter go through it. Everybody looks perfect on Instagram. And I think it was Joey that taught me, hello, there's filters, you can fix all that up.
Facetune. I started playing around with Facetune where it will wipe out every feature of yours that is yours. I have no crow's feet, I have no spots, I have no wrinkles.
Oh, I've got to use that.
But it gets addicting, and the problem is life doesn't have Facetune. So I look in the mirror in my bathroom and I see this face.
Somebody meets you and goes, oh.
I know.
is that?
I should give them a iPad. No, look at me through here.
But think about the girls. The
Yeah.
girls are looking at the other people who they think look perfect.
Yes.
I mean, it's the same thing we dealt with the magazines. Now they're dealing with it with social media.
And it's important that they're saying they're not going to Photoshop anyone. So even like, the average family that might be in their ads, right? So it isn't just models anymore. We're actually looking and saying, no, stop Photoshopping people.
Right.
This is great. It's good for teenagers. It's good for men. It's good for everyone.
But I do agree with Linda. I'm not sure I
I'm
want
not
to
there
stop
yet.
being photoshopped.
Can you tell by my silence over here? I am not there yet.
It's
I'm
great
such
for
a
all the rest of
perfectionist.
you.
Like everyone even teases me. Well, one of my girlfriends teases me in the house. She's like, Sheba, what are you doing today? Cleaning the clean because it's already clean. So I'm not there yet because I do feel that it's okay sometimes to play. It's okay. I think if we don't take it so seriously and we have the conversations with our daughters, like I do with mine.
It's both
about
sides.
being authentic and being real. What's wrong with making a picture look picture perfect if you're going for that picture perfect picture, like in an
Right.
advertisement? You know what I mean? So
But I think it
don't
needs
know,
a
I go-
disclaimer. I like that they're going to use a
I
disclaimer.
do too.
We
I
like
do.
for the beautiful people not to be airbrushed. It's okay for the rest of us.
That's a good way to
Everyone
put it,
else.
Linda. Could not agree more. Well, speaking of Photoshop, it can go wrong. There is nothing worse than a bad touch-up. And that's what this family found out when they got their holiday photos back from their alleged professional photographer. So they look like they've been airbrushed onto creepy cartoon characters. Apparently the shadows were very bad during the shoot from a very sunny day. The young photographer had not really been taught how to retouch. The mom took it fairly well in stride, and it has turned into a viral joke with hundreds of thousands of views. Can you imagine paying a couple $1,000s for a photo shoot and getting that back? I mean, I hope she kept the originals.
I love that she's owning it, though.
yeah,
'cause that sucks because that's their family picture. But they will always remember that one.
Yes, they will.
Remember the year I looked like a doll? Like a creepy doll. And
Well,
we
and
sent it to everyone?
as you said, when we mess around even with our own, you can end up altering things that you shouldn't have altered, and then you have to
Yes.
figure out how to go back and fix it
Yeah.
so you look like a human again.
I did when I lived in New York. I got a photo taken when I was in the theater for a professional headshot,
Yes.
and they sent me the proof, and they said, oh, we'll tweak some things. When they came back, I said, that is not me. That is not anyone I know or look like, so take that back.
Right, no, it can happen, but it's good to have a sense of humor about it. We're going to check out our happy hour forecast, and when we come back, something that's no laughing matter, this year's flu season. Sarasota Memorial Hospital is here to help.
Good afternoon, I'm Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with your first alert weather forecast, and I'll tell you what, 74, we haven't been there in a while. People are happy about that for this happy hour, and we have a few clouds around. Dew point still low at 48, and the humidity extremely low, 40%, the barometer 30-25. That's beginning to slip a little bit, but not much, still very high. Winds out of the north and northeast of 5 to 10 miles an hour up and down the coast. From Venice to Northport, down into Rotunda right now out of the northeast, anywhere from 5 to 10. Big changes are headed our way. In fact, it'll be a first alert weather day beginning tomorrow afternoon and continuing on into Thursday morning as this cold front approaches. It's going to be disruptive for all of us here. In fact, there are some watches and warnings up for the state already. 74 degrees right now in the Sarasota, 69 in Venice. A little closer to the coast, a little bit cooler. Gulf water temperature now at 60, and Arcadia 74, Mayaca City at 73. We'll have more on this big cold front and the freeze watch for us.
The CDC says the entire U.S. is experiencing widespread flu right now, and that this is the first time in 13 years that this has happened. Flu hospitalizations have doubled this week over last week. So we asked the Director of Emergency Services at Sarasota Memorial Hospital, Lisa Collins Brown. We're very happy to have you, Lisa. Thank you for coming. And I think you are in emergency services. Did I say that right?
You did. You said it correctly.
Very good. So you see these flu people coming in, people with flu symptoms coming in. What's going on?
Well, I think it's a combination of a couple of things. Hopefully a lot of people got their flu shot. We don't always know the efficacy of the flu shot until after the flu season. I know on the news we're hearing this 10% efficacy rate. A lot of that comes from Australia because they've already finished their flu season. But you know, it's still important to get your flu shot, but it doesn't always match up with the strain that's kind of circulating around in the community. And I think this year the strain is just a little off, and so historically when you see that the vaccine doesn't match up, you'll see increased hospitalizations, increased unexpected outcomes, these deaths, you know, across the nation that we're seeing. So when it's all said and done, we'll know the exact numbers, but historically that's usually the trend when you see that.
Is that why the activity is so high? Because the strain didn't necessarily match the shot?
Well, this is very widespread. I mean, if you look across the nation, it's pretty much in every
everywhere.
state.
Yeah.
So you can conclude that it may not match up, but it's still important to get your flu shot because it provides that cross protection. So all influenzas are kind of the same. They have the same kind of traits, so you will get some protection even if it doesn't match
still
up.
a reason to get a flu shot if I have not done it yet?
Yes, it's not too late, so
Okay.
please go get your flu shot. You can usually go to your local pharmacy
Yeah, they're
or
everywhere
your
still.
regular doctor and those kind of things to get it. But yeah, it's not too late, and I would definitely advise you to get it if you haven't gotten it.
But it's so dangerous. What can we do to protect ourselves?
Well, I mean, the big thing is if you're sick, well, getting the flu shot is number one. But if you're sick, do not go to work, do not go to public places, those kind of things.
That's actually a really good point, because I
Yeah.
know a lot of people think, well, if I don't go to work today, we're going to lose out on productivity, so I should just push myself and go.
Well, in the long run, that's going to, double, triple, quadruple. You'll have more people out
You'll
of
make
work.
everyone around you
exactly.
sick.
And it is very contagious. It's through droplet. It's through, you can get it from sneezing, coughing, just even talking
doorknob
in close.
touch, yeah.
Exactly. So if you have desk areas where you're, using them with multiple users, you want to make sure you're wiping them down in between your phones, your keyboards.
We deal with that
those
here.
kind of things.
Share
Yeah.
workspace.
But yeah, and washing your hands. Good 20 seconds, really getting in there and washing your hands.
I was told you should sing happy birthday through twice while you're washing your hands. Is
That is
true?
a trick, yes, that is. And don't sing too fast. Yes.
Now, if you do have the flu, I know some people struggle with, well, should I go to the doctor, or they're just going to make me wait it out anyway? When should you see the doctor if you are sick?
Well, if you're in one of the high-risk categories, which is usually 65 and older, you have underlying medical conditions, compromised. If you're under 5 years old, especially under 2 years old, and you have those underlying underlying conditions as well, you would want to go seek some kind of treatment. So you can either get onto an antiviral like the Tamiflu, but you want to probably stay home. If you have those kind of moderate, mild symptoms, you want to hydrate yourself, you want to make sure that you're staying in bed, getting lots of rest, you know, the typical things.
And I'm sorry, Linda, go ahead.
Can you stop it once you start feeling bad? Can you stop it?
Well, if you're in one of those high-risk categories and you get on the antiviral, which is Tamiflu, it will definitely lessen the, you know, symptoms that you have. But no, you can't really stop it. You kind of have to go through it. It can be up to 7 days. Some people say they're tired up to at least 2 weeks. So,
So are you saying 7 days at home, or just?
yeah, that's what we're seeing with
Give
this
in.
flu. Yeah.
Just have to give in.
Some of the people I know say, well, take vitamin C, take massive doses of vitamin C. Anything like that
Well,
we can do?
obviously that's going to help. You want to stay hydrated. You want to drinks, you know, nutritional drinks are obviously great. Vitamin C, honey bell oranges, all that stuff is really good. But if you get it, you're going to get it. If you've already had the shot, you'll hopefully have less symptoms.
Oh, wow. We're so glad you came today.
of course.
We'll be washing our hands.
Yeah.
And you can get more health information on Sarasota Memorial Hospital's website. And next, some must-have healthy foods for the new year.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke is a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves him green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Many of us make healthy eating resolutions with the new year, but we don't know exactly what we should be eating to make it happen. We asked Chef Mel from Whole Foods Market to join us and share some top trends to include in our menu planning.
Welcome
going,
back.
Chef Mel?
We missed you. We love when you're here and we love when you bring gifts.
Yes, yes. So talk to us a little bit. So you suggest floral flavors?
Oh yeah, big trend, 2018, big trends, floral. So this has got elderflowers in it, elderberry. You're going to see a lot of lavender infused stuff, a lot of rose infused stuff. I bought a cheese the other day at the Whole Food Market that the outside was completely encrusted in petals.
Oh,
Really?
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
actual flower petals?
There's a big like nasturtiums and roses. We can eat all of that, and there's a
Right.
big movement to drying them and flavouring stuff with them.
okay.
So you get that kind of little floral scent to it.
It's got a lovely
You
scent.
can
Is that to
smell it.
encourage us to drink more water then?
Or
Yeah, well,
add it to
anything that
other-
encourages us to drink more water is a good thing. And obviously, there's always going to be new trends that are going to like pick up on the whole natural thing
nice.
that's
Yes.
going
I
on
like
right
this
now.
because lime, mint, elderflower, none of them are overpowering.
Yes.
Right.
But it tastes like roses. I
Just
have
smells floral.
Yes, I have tasted roses.
So don't be turned off when you see floral notes of things.
No, I don't think so. I think some people have like a really like strong reaction to like rose-scented things or like orange flower water.
Yes.
But I think the way these days modern people are using it in a very subtle way. You know what I mean? You're not going to get something that's like so repellently rose that that's all you taste.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that
grew
makes
up in, like,
sense.
in England. We grew up with these sweets that were called Parma violets.
Yes.
Like as a child, and they were so strongly violet flavoured.
Oh my goodness. Now, what
Only
about-
the
You
elderly
may
enjoyed
still have
them.
an aversion.
Yes, I do.
Now tell me a little bit more about the super powders. What are those?
Like things like matcha and things like
yes.
cacao, like raw cocoa has become like a huge thing.
Really?
There are a lot of antioxidant benefits in it because we love chocolate.
Yes.
So any way that they can make us eat more chocolate, we're going to do it. So you're going to see that in a lot of things. Like a lot of these things have got like matcha in, cacao in, just to add like a more natural, like taking it back to the basics.
Right.
So when you're actually looking at an ingredient, it's like the pure ingredient without the introduction of like cocoa butter or
That's
whatever.
right. And when I asked you, I had to keep asking you. I
Yeah.
said, okay, so this only has 3 egg whites, 6 almonds, 4 cashews, 2 dates? And you said
That's
yes.
all that's
and
in
I said,
it.
wait a second, this only has 3 egg whites, 6 almonds, 4 cashews, because I couldn't.
And then I said, look at the ingredients, and the
And I did,
ingredients
I
are
turned it
exactly the
over,
same. I
exactly.
think the more we are aware of what we're eating, and it's like less
Yes.
adulterated, and the more that we can introduce things like turmeric into our diet. Like we should all be eating turmeric.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been
That's
seeing
what we
flavor
do.
shots that have turmeric
Yeah,
in
and
it.
just at home, like making like a hot turmeric tea before
Yes.
you go to bed. Very soothing, very delicious.
Now,
We
now
have
talk to
fallen
me.
in love
yes.
with this.
We
Yes,
have,
tell
we
us
have.
about crispy, crunchy things that aren't bad for us.
Well, I guess the technology has got to the point now that we can make anything into like the assimilation of a potato chip, right? So we want to sit at home and eat something crunchy while we're watching the TV. So these pea crisps have been around for a while, but now you're
Yes.
seeing different things like these lentil crisps.
These are
and
really
stuff
good.
like
Now,
that.
these are
I've
awesome.
had the pea crisps forever, and I give them to my daughter for snacks for
Kids
school.
love them.
They're
She loves
really
them.
good.
Yeah, they're really good. But
so
I like
if you're
the lentils.
craving crispy, crunchy, you don't have to go fatty and fried and things that are bad for you. You can
Yes.
get some vegetable, and I'm assuming these are air fried.
Yeah, and I think also it's like the moderation thing, right? You know,
Yes.
you never want to go
Don't eat
in
the
and
whole
like
bag.
rip the potato chips out your kid's hand, even if you've got nothing to replace it with. So let's replace it with something like this.
Something
Let's
healthy.
introduce like a healthy attitude in terms of what's available.
Great idea.
Touching on that, the spiralized stuff is like our alternative to pasta.
Is that root to stem? What is root
Well,
to stem?
root to stem is actually like some other stuff that I had which involves like if you're going to use Brussels sprouts, you're going to use the leaves off the Brussels sprout plant as well. Like for a long
Okay.
time, like we just forgot what's edible, like the top of the beetroot, stuff like that. Everything is edible, you know what I mean, to a certain extent. So we need to just like go back to like using the whole animal, using the whole plant.
Using the whole
But
vegetable.
what do you mean the leaves to the Brussels sprouts? You mean when you pick it?
Well, when the
leaves-
Brussels sprouts come on a big giant stem, if you've ever seen
Yes,
them, but there's
we
also
grow
like
them.
leaves at the
Yes.
top. That
Get rid of those.
you can eat them.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, thank you so much for that.
And everything's better when you spiralize it, because no matter what part of the vegetable, you're getting it.
Yeah, and the thing with that is that, you know, I've bought a spiralizer and literally spent like an hour and a half with like whole selection of useless pieces of zucchini left.
Right.
It's great to be able to buy it.
Thank
pre-
you.
Buy it on the Whole
Thank you so
Foods
much
bar.
for coming. You will be able to visit Chef Mel at the new Whole Foods Market on University Parkway when it opens January 31st. And we'll see you in the kitchen in a little bit. Next, Pet Tech Products from Consumer Electronics Show.
Fact: the top 3 Marriott hotels in North and South America are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, according to a recent survey of 363 Marriott hotels. The Marriott at Grand National, the Marriott Shoals Hotel, and the Grand Hotel. And 2 of the top 3 Renaissance hotels are also on the trail: Ross Bridge in Birmingham and the Battle House in Mobile. Southern hospitality still rules. For reservations or information, visit rtjgolf.com/resorts.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Well, the big consumer electronics show that just wrapped in Las Vegas, it's not just for people. Pet tech is a huge category, and our pet trendologist, Charlotte Reed, was there, and she's brought back some new innovations. We love when you're here after the CES show because, you know, I'm a crazy dog person, and anything I can do...
And this one,
yes,
and this one.
anything we can do to spend
people.
money on our pets.
Charlie
So we talked a little bit about CES as a whole yesterday, but what did you see as far as pet trends go?
Well, it's really interesting. It's really all about the smart home, having all of your pet products interconnect. So the bed interconnects with Alexa or Google Home. You also have robotics, which are really popular as companions for your pets. Also, cameras are really big. There are all sorts of amazing, I mean, all of the pet products fit into the big trends, which is voice activation, robotics, cybersecurity. So it's really, it was all really amazing.
So it's not just things, you know, to kind of pamper your pet. They're actually useful things. Like
Absolutely
we all have
useful
a pet
things.
bed, right?
Right. We all have a pet bed. So let's
start
talk about my favorite product at CES. It was by Petrix. Petrix makes the first smart bed. Now, I love this bed. You can look at the picture right there. Believe it or not, it has a heating and a cooling system. There's a scale involved.
Oh my God.
Also,
That's great.
it's voice activated, so Alexa, it'll work with Alexa, eventually with Google Home. And what's really cool about this, it comes with a tracker, okay? So the tracker and the bed, and it's the first piece of the Petrix smart home system. What also is really great is this system has a health app that is amazing. So if you have a dog who is a Chihuahua, who's a senior and who has allergies, it'll tell you all of the food choices that you can have. Or Sheba, you have a Yorkie,
I do.
and the Yorkie doesn't have any teeth because eventually they lose their teeth. It'll tell you what's the best soft food. Or Linda, if you have a big dog with hip dysplasia, it'll tell you what food. So it's
great.
amazing.
Oh, and I like the
And
heating
a flip
aspect.
of a switch. Yeah.
Yes,
so
I do.
if you're up north in Buffalo where it's snowing, or you're, you know, you need the heat, or
Or you
if
have
you're
a
down
pampered
here,
Chihuahua who, when it gets
needs
40 degrees,
right, needs a little
Gets a cold.
cooling.
Yes.
So it's amazing.
All right, so what are we seeing in collars?
So, well, actually everybody has a collar because it's the activation that works. So let's talk about Black & Decker next. They partnered with Wags. They're their licensing partner. Now, they're really farther along in their development of a smart home. So they started out with introducing, this past Christmas, a smart collar. And then, now they have a feeding system, which will be introduced in the spring. So once again, the smart collar. And what's nice is they're really paying attention to pet owners' problems at home. I've got 6 dogs, so each dog can have a feeder, and it'll activate the feeder only with that smart collar.
So almost like it unlocks the food.
Exactly, and then also
That's
you
great.
can time the food, and it tells you how much. It's like totally amazing. And then the best thing the newest thing they have, which is also coming out in 2008, is a smart door. And what I love about this door, you know, you have the door, the dog goes out, but there's a camera in the door, so you can see what your dog's doing in the yard while you're at the office, slaving away, Joey,
I will get
slaving
nothing
away.
done because I'll be watching Lulu.
I know, you'll be watching Lulu all the
Speaking
time.
of these systems, you talked about ActiJoy.
ActiJoy. Okay, so remember when we had the bed and we had the little bowl that looked like this? You buy it for $2. Now, ActiJoy, it's actually, believe it or not, that's what's great about CES. International, designed by a Czech group of folks. And what it is it's a bowl system that talks about health and nutrition. So it'll let you know how much water and how much food that your pet is eating during the day. So that way if you have a senior dog or you have a dog that's sick, you'll be able to tell. Exactly, or they're not drinking. That's especially important with cats.
Really?
Yes,
That's
because cats
great.
need to constantly hydrate, and especially if they eventually have, you know, urine problems, which a lot of cats do. They need urinalysis, or you're going to the doctor. So all of that data you can take with you and take to your veterinarian and discuss your pet's health conditions.
This is also practical. That I really love this. I love that the tech is helping them. Now, you mentioned there were more dog collars. What about the Jagger and Lewis?
Well, the Jagger and Lewis, I'm glad you brought that up because Jagger and Lewis is really, really interesting. What is interesting about this? It focuses on behavior. So if your pet's, for example, once you put it on, it analyzes your pet's behavior for like almost a week, and then it sees the patterns that your pet is actually adhering to. Let's say your pet had too much of a workout at the dog park that day and is not getting off the bed. That'll alert you that you really need to pay attention to maybe he has a bad leg or maybe he's pulled a muscle or something along those lines. So those things are really, really important. And it's, you know, algorithms, it's the big thing. I wish I really knew what it all was, but you know, slowly but surely we're all finding out.
Now, there's a smart robot you mentioned.
Right, now I told you, robotics is really, really key. And there's a system called Latka, and another French product, which is really interesting. And it's designed to be your dog's companion. See how as it moves around, it can get your dog up, you can talk, it has a camera, it also has a treat dispenser, so your dog will not be lonely when he's talking. I mean, let's face it, dogs, look at Morrow right here, sleeping 18 hours a day. You know, and it's just amazing. It's a powerful tool, so you really can know what's going on at your
all right, so as far as playing, so you know, there's a collar with a ball. Tell us about Pebby.
So Pebby is absolutely a winner. It is a smart ball. See, remember the ball here? See the ball here? I'm going to just bounce it. You can see. That's it. Okay, when it's gone, it's gone. But Pebby has a camera and also a laser, so it rolls around the house. You can activate it through your phone. Everything's through the phone. That's the most amazing thing. And for cats, a laser light comes out of it, and it's cool because it's in a lot of colors. And you know, imagine your pet sitting there. You're gone for a few hours. You can keep your pet active at home, especially in the winter months, like you know when you go to your other house up west.
All right, you mentioned cats, so there's a cat product.
There's a cat spad, which is really another French product. I don't know, these Frenchies, they're bringing all the products to the market. Yeah, this is actually really interesting. It's revolutionary for cats. It's a feeding system, and it's the only food dispenser that allows you to schedule your cat's meals and monitor the nutrition. So everything has an app, everything has nutrition, but it's actually going to be interesting to see when these are going to be introduced to the marketplace. Some of these products are ready to go, and some of these are just a sneak peek of what's to come.
It's so parallel to what we're seeing with all the rest of our smart home gadgets.
I mean, eventually I'm going to have a smart suitcase for my dog when we travel.
Yeah, this is awesome. Charlotte, thank you so much. You always bring us the best and the greatest. You can hear more from Charlotte on her radio show Pet Buzz on WSRQ or by visiting her website, charlottereed.com. You can also find her on social media. Next, some unusual sights are headed to Englewood. We'll meet one lady named the Elastic Lady.
Download the all-new ABC 7 First Alert Weather app now.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, When your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Here's what's coming up at 5 o'clock. New information in an arson investigation in Venice after multiple cars were set on fire at the end of 2017. Officials with Major League Football speaking out now that one of its former investors is working with a different football league. Let's get a check on the weather now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Gorgeous day today, Scott. Temperatures warming into the low to mid 70s, above average, and we have some clouds around right now, but the dew point still very low. It makes the humidity very comfortable. Fairly perfect day. Northeast winds at 9 now. The pressure extremely high at 30-25. We are in for some big changes. We've already posted some videos to our mobile app. So if you haven't downloaded our weather app, please do so. Our winds basically anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. Coming out of the northeast, those winds will switch around as the front moves through tomorrow. Details at 5.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
The classic film Singing in the Rain is coming to the Players Center in a live stage show opening January 17th. All the dances and all the songs you've come to know and love, all a part of our Wild Broadway series. Get your tickets now for this limited run by calling the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. You too can be singing in the rain.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
There's some unusual sights in Inglewood this week. The great Mr. Swindle's Pecularium is opening here on the Suncoast. And here to tell us what in the heck a Pecularium is Allison Bly. Allison, you're a co-producer, so you obviously know what this thing is. Tell us what a Pecularium
Well,
is.
a pecularium, I'll tell you where the word came from. The suffix IUM describes a place where a given activity is taking place, such as a planetarium, an aquarium. So we've made a pecularium. Okay.
Oh, very good. It sounds like a lot of muscle to me, the pecs. I guess that's not a pec.
Oh, well, and it was
Close.
peculiar. And
Oh, yes.
peculiarium is very difficult to say, so pecularium rolls off the tongue a lot easier.
So it's really a place where you go look at peculiar things, but we don't call it
Exactly.
peculiar.
We don't want to insult our guests. Come on. What can we expect to see?
Well, you'll see acrobats, you'll see comedians, you'll see live music, you will see live singing, we have accordion players, and everything is presented in a peculiar kind of manner. It's unlike any show that you will ever see.
Doesn't sound like a circus.
No, it's not exactly a circus. There is a lot of there's a lot of acrobatic performers and aerialists, but nothing is presented in the style that the circus was presented. There's no animals, there's no clowns. We have more of a comedian type. We have more live singing, more live music presented and featured right on the stage. It's much different than a circus.
Where do you find these unusual performers?
Well, our performers have actually flown in from all over the world, but more interesting is we have performers that are Inglewood-based, award-winning aerialists and acrobatics who do spend their years traveling the world performing, showcasing their acts in venues such as the Sydney Opera House, and nobody would know that they're residents of Inglewood.
Oh, great. Oh, that's amazing. So you put out the word and gather them in.
Yes.
Now we're going to meet Lady Elastic now. Tell us about her.
Lady Elastic, she is one of our performers. She actually performs 2 completely different acts, amazing acts. She's very talented. She has been featured in the Sydney Opera House as well, and has traveled the globe. And she is also an Inglewood-based performer.
Oh, wow. Really? So these are all people right here that travel the world, and you've got them all together.
Yes, you would have no idea that they
I love this.
Here. Okay, let's see Lady Elastic from Inglewood. Awesome! Thank you, Lady Elastic. You can see the great Mr. Swindle's Traveling Pecularium in Inglewood, January 19th through the 23rd. Go to their website for ticket information. Next, it's almost time to join Whole Foods in the kitchen.
Florida Studio Theater presents the 8-time Tony Award winner, Once, held over by popular demand. Captivating and breathtaking, Once is an unforgettable story about going for your dreams and the power of music to connect us all. Critics are calling Once engaging and heartwarming, outstanding, and a flawless production. Audiences are calling it phenomenal and better than Broadway. Once must close January 19th. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting FloridaStudioTheater.org.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service, it's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
We love hearing from our viewers, whether it's social media or through email. We got some great feedback about yesterday's segment with the Pines of Sarasota. We learned about a form of dementia, Lewy body dementia, and the Pines has created an informational documentary that they are screening to the public. The film screening and discussion of the film, Where Did You Go?, will be at Riverview High School next Thursday night, January 25th. For more information, visit pineseducation.org/film. Well, next up, we'll be visiting the kitchen with Chef Mel from Whole Foods.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC 7 News app.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
From our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is an ABC 7 News Update.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Here's what we're working on for 5 o'clock. Police arresting one man in connection to a fire started outside of a Sarasota restaurant. How it's affecting operations at Mandeville Beer Garden. Now let's get a check on our weather with First Alert meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Jacqueline. We are looking at big changes headed our way. Today's highs were into the mid-70s, finally back into the 70s today. Right now, 73 degrees. The dew point still fairly high at 48 degrees, so a nice, comfortable low temperature tonight. Will be close to seasonal averages. As far as the winds go, they're basically fairly light, anyway from 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the northeast across the region, and we expect those winds to stay that way through the overnight. And then there will be a big switch around to the northwest. Cold front coming. Big changes, watches and warnings in effect for the state. We have a freeze watch in effect for us. Details of that at 5. See you then.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Coming up Wednesday at 4 on Suncoast View, martial arts is not just for self-defense, it's Workout Wednesday, and we're going to use martial arts for our creative calorie burn. The Law Place tackles the issue of false accusations, what you need to know to avoid life-altering consequences. Plus, the Player Center previews Singing in the Rain, and Chef Judy brings her picks for Suncoast Healthy Dining.
And welcome back. We're so happy to have Chef Mel from Whole Foods in the kitchen. You always bring us something very exciting that we never thought we'd eat, Chef Mel.
Well, I think more importantly, I bring things that you have never seen before, and the rest of us completely familiar generally.
Oh, yeah, Jerusalem something or others.
Jerusalem artichokes. Let me cut it so you
Everybody
can see what it looks like inside.
Jerusalem artichoke. Is that different than a regular artichoke?
Well, we have two types of artichokes, right? We have globe artichokes, which are the ones you're familiar
That
with.
you peel apart.
Peel off and eat
Right.
the seeds. This is a Jerusalem artichoke.
It looks like a
It's
potato.
a root vegetable. It has a very earthy, chestnutty taste, full of fibre, really super, super good for you.
And what did you do with them?
Delicious.
Roasted.
I love it.
This
You
is part
roasted,
of that
okay.
whole like stem to stern thing that's going on the salad bar. Because they're expanded salad bars, obviously we've got to fill them with a whole bunch of interesting stuff.
yes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this has got some sunflower seeds, some sunflower sprouts, and also the Jerusalem artichokes. The other thing that I brought that's part of that whole let's eat everything thing is a fennel salad with apples. I've brought fennel here before, and you had never experienced it before, so this will be a refresher for you, Linda.
Thank you. I need a refresher.
I like fennel. Fennel's kind of
Yeah,
great.
just like fennel, that's just sliced really thin and then marinated.
All right, I'm going to send some down for you ladies.
Okay.
So Jerusalem artichokes, fennel, these are all things that we can find in the produce department at Whole Foods easily?
Yeah, these are common garden things. The sunchokes, or those artichokes, you may not always see around, do you know what I mean? And like, often people don't know what to do with them. Roast them in the oven.
Okay.
Well, that is, and
Wash
they're
them nice,
delicious.
roast
They
them in
really
the
are.
oven.
And that
Yeah,
seems
really
to be your theory with lots of things right now, is just
We'll share
roasting.
this.
So tell us about some of the other things you've
Right,
roasted.
so this thing that we're making today, this
mind on
paleo bowl, involves roasted sweet potatoes. All I did with these was just dice them, throw them on a sheet pan, roast them in the oven. There's no oil on those at all. If you're looking at the paleo thing, they use coconut oil, they use macadamia oil. We're getting away from using our vegetable-based oils, just because obviously if you're using coconut oil or macadamia nut oil, it comes with a protein base.
So you get some protein.
Get some
Which you need.
protein too. So the actual dish we're making, which is this beautiful bowl here, features the cauliflower rice. Now this cauliflower rice I actually just chopped up with my knife. Which you can actually do that. Like, you know, I don't want anyone to be put off and go, oh, I can't do that, I haven't got a food processor. Get your knife out, get your chopping board out, run your knife through it. Doesn't matter if it's as pretty.
I was going to say, and every piece does not have to be the perfect same
No,
size.
the thing is, food shouldn't be perfect.
Well, Chef Mel,
Food should be
Mine never
imperfect.
is, so I'm glad to hear you
I
say
mess
that.
up with cauliflower rice because I don't know if I cook it too long, it gets very watery.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
the thing.
yeah, good point.
Well, and that's another thing about if you buy it like frozen or stuff like that, you're dealing with water content and it's going to be more difficult.
So you chopped this and then you just put it on a roasting pan.
I chopped this and just did it in a pan like that with a tiny bit of water. So
Oh,
the
okay.
coloration you're seeing on there is from it being slightly caramelised from the pan.
I mean, it looks like brown rice.
So is the theory use as little water as possible so you don't get mush?
Well, and also what I would suggest is like just don't be gentle with it. Like, I mean, if you stick it like in too much water, it's going to go to mush. And I've actually, because I chopped it by hand, it's slightly bigger pieces, and then you've got less chance of it doing that.
Okay.
And then the same thing with the kale.
Yeah,
you just
tell us
kinda
how you
chop it
cook
up
the
and-
kale.
Yeah, the kale is one of those things like you can actually buy like ready prep kale that comes in like the ribbons, and that's what this is. It actually comes already shredded
bought
to
that,
you.
yes.
Which is another, I mean, sometimes people are really fearful of the greens, you know what I mean? They look at the greens in the store and they look, oh, it looks beautiful, I've got no idea what to do with it. Mostly with your greens, cut really thin, just saute them in, like, you know, a little bit of oil or just steam them a tiny bit, good to go.
And then you just put it all together and
That's what we're going to do.
And then
We're
it's
going to
put
put it
all
all
together.
together. So what we're going to do is, like, I mean, obviously that one's more layered, but realistically speaking, cauliflower rice goes in, sweet potatoes
And look
go
at all the
in.
different colors. We know we're
Oh,
supposed to eat colors, but it's so hard to figure out exactly how to do that. As Mel puts this together, I want to remind everybody that you can buy so many of these things on the Whole Foods Market bar, chopped up, ready to go, because I'm allergic to prep. That's where I don't have the line. So you can pick up these things and you can get this great tasting healthy food at home. And we can't wait to greet Chef Mel at the new Whole Foods Market on University Parkway, January 31st, still the goal?
January 31st.
Oh,
Come see us.
I drive by there every day. I can't wait to see you. All right. Sheba, we will see you again tomorrow.
Yes, you will.
Nice treat
I'm
for
looking
us.
forward
We
to
look
it.
forward to
Oh,
that. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the Suncoast view.
All right.